Gear is sick, but it did make my workshop smell like fish. So make sure you guys follow along. I'll kind of walk you through the process. I'll show you what we did to this, again, to make this the sweetest game gear for a customer in Texas. If you want to get your console modded, hit me up at crossfacegaming.com. But let me go ahead and walk you guys through the process. This is how most game gears come to me. Not working. In this case, this screen is completely shot. It's not going to be usable. So unfortunately, recap is not going to do anything for this. And now to the part that really, really stinks, both literally and figuratively here. When you recap, when you remove all the capacitors, it basically makes everything smell like a very, very particular smell, like fish, like from down south, if you know what I mean. So anyways, we're going to get everything all cleaned up here. It's super important. You want to have nice, shiny solder pads. I've seen people try to recap their game gears, and it doesn't really stick very well, doesn't wet really well the actual solder, and that's because they did not remove all the electrolytics. If you leave that on the board, that will eat away at the board, and you will run into issues later on. Right now, we're doing the no cap boot, so we know that this game gear is good. Now we can actually proceed. So we're going to add the clean light, and then we're going to add our clean screen, and there we can see what that looks like. So now we can test it out and make sure everything's all good. Put everything back together. And now that we know that everything's all good, let's just show off what this thing can do here. So looking at this, customer added basically everything you could with the exception of USB-C and VGA out. So if you hold the start and the 1 button, what that's going to do is that's going to dim the lights. You can actually turn off the clean lights. That's a new feature of the latest version of the clean light. Before you couldn't do that, it just was basically on all the time. So if you want, you can turn it off. We got clear buttons. We have an original Game Gear new shell. And again, with the clean screen, which is an IPS display, we can add scan lines. We can do VGA out if you wire it up for that. We can do a lot with this. So right now, this is one of the best, if not the best, IPS screen you can get on the market. And with the exception of the smell and really having to spend a decent amount of time scrubbing and cleaning all the different solder pads, these are really one of my favorite consoles to do. I do these all the time here. Again, we're just showing off all the different features that you can get with the Retrosix clean screen. If you want to get a sick Game Boy like this, hit me up at crossfacegaming.com.